damn bot.
Where you at, Johnny?
Near a power plant.
So, Kaiju Arisen or Arisen is a game on Roblox which is kind of like Kaiju Universe, except instead of only focusing on MonsterVerse and Godzilla kaijus, it also has characters or kaijus and Jaegers from Pacific Rim movies. They also have some skins for each of the characters or monsters. I'm not just calling characters from now on, for each of the characters. Some have more than others. In my opinion, the in-game UI, like when you're actually fighting monsters, I feel like it could be better, especially if you don't know what any of the moves do, similar to what Kaiju Universe did. But I do agree that the money system is a lot easier to get. I mean, I already have like 3 fucking kaijus and I played the game for like 2 hours. I also like how the UI while you're in the menu is very simple. It's not complex. I feel like that's something most games try to do. They try to make their UIs most complex and weird as possible when it should just be simple, which is what I like. Now, I'm gonna put this video into a couple categories. The gameplay, the characters, and the map. So, let's get straight into it, I guess. Now, when you're loading into the game, instead of just a normal loading screen, the loading screen actually changes as the assets load in, being references to other kaiju films. The UI is also nice and simple, not too complicated, pretty easy to learn. And the way that skins work is that you have to select them while you select the character, and then you spawn in, and then you have the skin. It's not something you can toggle. It's something you have to manually turn on in the main menu. And another thing I like is that you don't have to always do this. Anytime you die, you just have to respawn, and you're still the same skin. This is pretty much with every skin and every kaiju or character in the game. There are some flaws in the gameplay, like the first person or the excuse for it. Like it's very buggy and incomplete. And the combat is a little bit different than Kaiju Universe. You actually, instead of having an ability with a very long cooldown with most characters, you actually have to build up your special ability, which in most cases is pretty broken. And in this game, there also is a mechanic which is blocking. What blocking does is that it blocks most attacks except certain attacks from characters that cannot be blocked. And in order to not make this completely overpowered and annoying so that people can just spam hold the block, there actually is a mechanic in the form of a blue bar for every single character, which the more you block, the more it goes down, and the more you take damage, the more it goes down. So you can hold block forever. And you need to block wisely, because if you block, there's a cooldown for blocking for some fucking reason, like a second cooldown where after you stop blocking, you need to wait a second before starting to block again. Most attacks can be blocked, but every single character has abilities that cannot be blocked, some more than others. Also, there's a blue bar above your health. That's how much you can block. So when that shit reaches 0, you immediately stop blocking. And the bar that is charging upwards to the right of your health and block bar, that is your ultimate ability charge or special ability. Now, I did say most characters cannot use their ult has to be built up and not a long ass cooldown. That doesn't include this motherfucker. This motherfucker has a long cooldown with his ults, and it's pretty fucking broken considering the fact of how massive it is. Also, something with most people's ults like Gojira, this guy, and pretty sure some others, what their ult does is that it affects a certain radius of fucking land, and what it does is that it does minimum damage, but it does it very quickly and over a very short time period. So in other words, as long as it's there, you're gonna take a fuck ton of damage. So yeah, some ults are more broken than others. Some characters are more ranged than others, like Striker Eureka. He is pretty sure it's a he, right? A couple final things I'm going to talk about is my main issue with this game is the UI being kind of iffy, because when you use an ability, instead of the ability showing what you do and actually having a little picture of what you do, instead you just gotta figure that shit out by a number and a bright ass color on the bottom right of your screen. As I said earlier in the video, I feel like what they should do is something similar to what Kaiju Universe did and show each of your abilities and what they do at the bottom of your screen. Alright, so another thing I like about the game's UI is the fact that instead of just a plain normal Roblox health bar, it actually shows the person's kaiju or character, their username, and how much health they have in a pretty unique way. Their username is also highlighted above them in combat. This clip is also the perfect example of how massive the problem of teaming is in this fucking game. Overall, some characters are better than others, and also I said this before, I also really like how easy it is to get the GT cells, aka the currency in this game. It's very easy and pretty self-explanatory. Unlike Kaiju Universe, you don't only get XP and GT cells from hitting buildings in combat. You only get GT cells from combat in this game. Now, jumpers are a serious problem in Kaiju Arisen, so much so that I've gotten sick and fucking tired of it. Anyways, most jumpers are pretty much nothing. They mainly run away whenever they don't have their boyfriends to come help them or when they're low as fuck. Now, it's especially easy to counterplay jumpers if they're just Godzillas, because usually what I like to do is if a Godzilla is charging their atomic breath, I hide behind the other one, and if they're damaging me, even better, because then it gets canceled out via the atomic breath, and they absorb all the damage and be used as a meat shield. Another thing that I like about the game is that this game is pretty balanced. I mean, early on, when I barely knew anything about it, I was able to take out a legendary Godzilla as just Grandpa Goji. And I really like this because that shows that this game isn't that biased and you can kill kaijus that are supposedly stronger than you, unlike a certain game. And yeah, another thing is that eventually when you kill someone, instead of just like not getting any health back and having to fend for yourself, you actually do get like 800 health back. Now, this game does not have that many characters. I think it only has like 15 compared to Kaiju Universe's like, I don't even know how many. Another thing I like about this game is the fact that nothing is hidden and restricted by the paywall. You can get everything by just playing the game and get it with the GT cells. I've also noticed the game's weird obsession with anime skins. There's 3 Jujutsu Kaisen skins and there's 2 Chainsaw Man skins. But shit, I'm not complaining. I like anime. And also, I think it's really cool. Like, Mecha Godzilla has a Chainsaw Man skin. Blackface, or whatever the fuck his name is, has a goddamn Katana Devil skin. The fucking Fire Monkey, Magma Creature, whatever the fuck he's called, Magma Monster, he has, like, the Cursed Spirit. I forgot her fucking name. The bitch that had a left arm, like, a rose for a left arm, some shit like that. Fucking Mutant Abomination, Stage 1, Stage 2 Shin Godzilla has a Hatsume Miku skin and a Mahito skin. Like, bro, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, and also Striker Eureka has a Big Raga skin, which in my opinion is poggers.
I would say that this guy is probably the easiest character to use in the game. For the simple reason he is so fucking brain dead and he has 2 moves that are extremely versatile. Well, not versatile. They have very good mobility. I have simplified attacks into a couple categories. Rush attacks, shoulder bash attacks, and melee attacks, and range attacks. Basically, shoulder bash is like Heisei Eric Godzilla, Stage 2 Mutated Abomination.
the magma monster where they just go forward and they just hit people a bunch of times. Rush abilities are like Striker Eureka's jump and fucking dash thing where they just go forward and they hit it one time, and also Mechagodzilla's jump as well. Melee attacks are exactly what they sound like, the normal L1s, most of the abilities, the stomps, the attacks, the punches, shit like that. And the ranged attacks is atomic breath, spear yeeting, stuff like that. And in my opinion, my favorite characters in the game are the kaijus and mechs. That's really it, just the mechs. I really like them, especially Mechagodzilla and Striker Eureka. They're my favorites in the game.
You touching the ref?
Now, in my opinion, I think the map is pretty good. There is a lot more spawn points compared to Kaiju Universe, where you just spawn in a certain island. You can actually choose where you spawn. And there are 2 main cities. There's fucking Mount Everest, and there's like a little cave area. Well, not cave. Well, there is a little cave area, but there's also like a weird thing in the ground. It kind of looks like an arena, which would be perfect for 1v1s, like organized 1v1s. And I like how you can destroy the cities and stuff. Overall, I think the map is pretty good. I feel like it could probably use some work, like maybe more terrain, little Easter eggs like they did in Kaiju Universe. Also, the water physics could be a lot better.